All right. So, hello, hello, hello. I am Jess, and this is Jesting and Things, and we are here with Mr. Baldwin Voices himself. I'm sure that that is not his, legal name. That's probably what's not on his birth certificate. But he is here. He is a TikToker. He's an influencer. He's an Instagrammer, and I'm doing a pretty simple series about people who influence or create content on social media, how they navigate their driving forces, sources of inspiration, etc. So, hello, Baldwin. Welcome. How are you?
Hi, hi. Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Oh, fantastic. And I love your voice so much. Now, he is a little bit about Baldwin, and I'll let him like talk because it's him. But he is a voice actor, writer, narrator, etc. So, what else am I leaving off of that list?
Um, that's pretty much it. You got the gist of it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie. I
Okay.
always, I, my friends can tell you, 80% of the time that they see me, I'm always eating something. Whether it be Indian food, Italian, Caribbean, I'm always eating. I'm a foodie.
No, I am a foodie myself, a self-appointed foodie, but I do get it. What state are you located in?
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay, yeah, I'm from California, but I live in the Atlanta area, in Georgia, and it's just not the same. I'm looking for the variety. It's not California.
Man, that California's on my list because like I've been trying to go there. I was hopefully trying to go there in 2019, but life. Oh, I know. Yeah, life.
You definitely should make the trip. It is worth it,
Mm,
and you want to make sure that you check out everything because it's so many fusion situations, but there's also standalone boutique restaurants where you can just get just the good stuff, the good
the
stuff.
good
So
stuff.
Indian food, just the flavors, everything's created fresh. Bakeries, like these little boutique bakeries. I'm from the Bay Area. I'm not from Southern California. A lot of people are gravitate towards LA, and they
Mm,
miss out. I feel like they miss out on the opportunity to be able to experience the uh, the melting pot, literally that the Bay Area is. So
mm.
Oakland, Berkeley, San Francisco, Napa, and all the other places surrounding are phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Man.
So that was a little tidbit we did not know about you. So let's jump into it. Tell us about yourself. Tell us why do you narrate? I mean, of course, you have a dynamic voice. We hear that, your regular speaking voice. But what made you get into just, using your voice as an instrument for uh, intrigue?
So, like any kid, I loved cartoons when I was younger. I always, watched them, 10 a.m. I mean, not 10 a.m., 10 p.m. at night, whatever. But the one thing that I started to do and didn't start until like maybe like 10, like I started like emulated voices. So say for example, if a character said, "I'll get you yet," and I'll just be like, "I'll get you yet," in a kid voice before, puberty happened. Um, but for me, there was just an intrigue of seeing these animated like characters and being like, "Huh, I wonder if people get paid for this." But and then like when I got older, I'm like, people do get paid for this. Word. So, um, that's kind of what started it. And then like I when I was younger, like I did homemade videos like everyone has, though it's on an old computer which is lost to time. So no none so none of that will be out. But I mean honestly, I would want to try and revive the computer if I'm able to. But just my small videos, small stuff. And then like during high school was like where of course puberty happened and my voice dropped, and I didn't really rec- recognize it at the time. But I remember there was one instance where at my old high school, it was a private high school, and we had my class, the freshman class, had to hold chapel. And then for some reason someone was like, "Hey, we need you to participate." I'm just like, why? I literally mind my business. And they were just like, "We need you to be like the Pharisee or whatever whatnot." I'm just like, but like I'm at that point in time, I was very what's the word, stage fright, no, the
Stage
word,
fright, or you had stage fright?
Yes, I had stage fright, and I was just like, if I do this, I don't want to be perceived. I would not. I would like not to be seen. Can I like do it behind the curtain? And then they're like, yeah, fine, as long as you do it. I'm like, bet. So like, I remember I did it, and I was thinking, okay, what does an old person sound like? And I'm just like, well, give him an old voice, like a deep voice, or whatever. And then like, I remember like I did it, and it was just like, oh, he says he's the king of the Jews or whatever, something like that. And then I was at that when I was thinking, I was like, okay, all right, yeah, sounds good. But then like after chapel, people were like, yeah, that was you, right? It was just like, yeah, like only my friends knew, but like not the high school as a whole. And they were like, yeah, they thought it was a recording or something like that. I'm like, interesting, interesting. And then like during my junior year, I was actually able to go and narrate for the first time. My vice principal, Mr. Turner, he asked me like, "Hey, Baldwin, how would you feel about voiceover narration?" I was just like, I'm intrigued. Why? And then basically, it was for the church that he attends has a cantata. Basically, choir comes in, they sing music, but there would be narration bridges that the narrators would do, and I was able to do that, and it was a fun experience. I remember when I got there, I was like nervous. I was just like, I don't know what to do, but I'm just like, wait, actually practice because you got to do something. You got to hear yourself through the speakers because you don't want to be thrown off. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, fine, self, I'll do it self. So I did it, and then I remember when I was doing it, someone walked by and I was like, oh, that was you. I'm like, yes. And then like, oh, I thought we got James Earl Jones, and that immediately made honestly my existence at that point. That made my existence. I was just like, they thought I was James Earl Jones? I almost teared up. I almost shed a thug tear.
Because he is the top tier, the epitome of
Yes.
the vocal candor that you would like to possess or vocal prowess that you want to walk into. He is Mufasa. He's
Yes.
Darth Vader. Ah, wow,
And like,
that's a compliment.
I know, and it was just like, and then just it really, it really boosted my spirit. And then I remember the day came, and then and the director of the whole program, she got everyone in the room, and then they were handing out paychecks. But I think I was on my phone. I was like, "Oh, here, Baldwin." I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm getting
He's like,
paid.
for me,
And then it's like, me? And like, yeah, and then here you go. And I'm just like, I'm getting paid for this. And as much as I was excited, I was like, I'm getting paid for this. So I was like, I'm getting paid for this because at the time I was like, yo, I'm low key nervous now, but I did good. I had like I invited my parents were there, and also close friends of the family were there, so like it made it easier, and I really enjoyed it. And honestly, that's kind of what started, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I should look at talent agencies and even voiceover. I'm like, voiceover, yeah. Um, but yeah, that was kind of the thing that started it. Like, of course, like different instances throughout, I guess, my younger days, and it kind of, really, um, the flame really grew during college. I went to Morgan State University. My major was multi-platform production, and one of the things was that, like, during that time, I was like, okay, so what do we know about voiceover? Not much. And I was like, but what do we like? I mean, of course, watching YouTube videos and everything, whatnot. But it's just like I'm an 18-year-old kid and an 18-year-old freshman, so like I didn't know much. But what I did know is that like practice, and even if it's not the best, I know I know that like with constructive criticism and feedback, I'll be able to better myself. So I know I started doing small things here and there, a Batman comic dub, what else? A Dragon Ball Z comic dub. I mean, like animation dub. Stuff to like really try different things.
mm-hmm.
And I was able, and then like my sophomore year, I was able to get an internship at the school's radio station, WEAA 88.9, and then basically I was able to do like radio stuff, promos, imaging, and whatnot. Let's see, and then like I believe near the end of my sophomore year, I was able to do announcing, and this was for the school's coronation, and and it was a cool experience. I believe that was free, although I should have charged. It's okay, wisdom.
We live and we learn. We live
Live
and
in
we
the live and you learn. And then yeah, that's what really like, it gave me a good foundation. I'm like, okay. And so like, keep on trying, of course, learn on my own as much as I can and
Mhm.
whatnot. And I know like they encourage you to do classes, but money,
Yeah.
and I'm a college student full time, so it's just like
Where am I going to get these hundreds of dollars, these imaginary dollars that you want me to produce to just take a class, an extra class besides my regular workload?
exactly. And plus, like my family's Jamaican and my parents are Jamaican, and I wanted to make sure that like one, because they always stress me to do my best, and I did want it to be that like I did it, but I did college, but I did subpar. That's not something I'm about. I try to make sure that I do my best or I don't do it at all.
Mhm.
Um, and then my junior year of college, this is where one of the instances that really kind of it gave you another boost. So I remember on my Instagram, actually, it's down on my Instagram, IGTV. I did like I posted on my story saying, "Hey, give me a quote and I'll say it in a deep voice." And I did it, and people liked it and everything. I was like, okay, this is nice. This is nice. And then one of my friends, Justice, he came to me and said, Baldwin, I think you should post this on Twitter. And then when he told me this, I'm just like, you're funny. You're funny. Because the thing is,
Wow.
I posted things on Twitter before, but
Mhm.
at most I would get 20 retweets and 50 likes. At most. And I
Mhm.
was just like, are you sure that would work? And he was like, yeah, listen, just do it. Do it for me. And I was just like, fine, I'll do it. I'll do it for you. And I remember I posted it. It blew up. Like, it blew up. My iPad was freezing. And I remember, like, because I posted it like 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night. Thursday morning, I woke up. I remember, like, I was looking at my iPad. I know it's my iPhone, but my iPad. I was looking at my iPad. I was just like, okay, let's see. It's gonna get like, what, maybe 15. And then I opened it, and then it was at 200. I'm just like, and then I remember I screamed, like, not like, how do I say it? Not blood curdling scream, but it was just like the ah. And then like my roommate, he came in. It was like, yo, Bo, what happened? You good? I'm like, I'm I'm trending. I'm trending. Hey man, that's good. And they're like, no, that's not. I mean, it was good, but I just wasn't used to it because like one, people started sliding into my DMs, and I can tell you, no, listen. The only people that used to slide into my DMs were scammers or forex traders or both, or meh.
Well, we
And
always forex trader or scammer too. Somebody, the African scammer
yeah,
or the Middle Eastern scammer. Hello, my
yeah.
beauty. I get one of those at least like every other day. So yes, I
Yeah, man.
understand.
And so it's just like but like I'm seeing people actually like real people. I'm just like, while they're talking to me, like, hey, I loved your video. Hey, you're so cute and everything. I'm just like, this is an overload. And my iPad was freezing, so I'm just like, I'm just gonna mute notifications. But that
Wow, you had notifications.
yeah,
Oh,
it it was wild. And I was just like, that going viral in 2019 was the last thing I ever thought I would be able to do in my life ever. Like honestly thought that like I'm like, oh yeah, be a low key guy, but I'm just like at this rate I can't because and I'm like, okay, maybe on Twitter I'm famous, whatever, whatnot, maybe quote unquote famous, heavy on the quotes. Maybe no one will see me in on campus because I'm thinking no one will know this on campus. So I remember I was going to one of my friends' script reading thing because she wrote a short story, and then a couple of people came to like narrate or whatever it or whatever. And I remember I came in the back, and like I was sitting because it's a regular classroom setting, so I sit in the back seats, and then and then one of my friends, Tanasia, she said like, "Oh, Baldwin, hi." I'm like, "Oh, hi, Tanasia, how are you?" She said, "Good." And then someone else turned like on my left side, I was like, "Baldwin, you mean that voice guy from Twitter?" I'm just like, "Hi." And then it was just like, "Oh my gosh, I love your videos." And everyone started turning back. I'm just like, Black Jesus, I do not want fame. Why? So and then I was like, oh, thank you. Like, I'm glad you enjoy it and everything. And it was just funny. Though the one thing that I try to make sure that, like, no matter what notoriety or fame that I do, claim, that I try to, just be normal. Don't be like, because I know, I personally in my life I've seen people be like, oh yeah, I got 10 bands on me or whatever, whatnot, or I got the iPhone XL Plus HD remake or whatever.
Oh my.
But I mean, just eccentric names aside, but I never wanted to be that, like, I use my fame or try to make someone feel less than, because that's just not me. Because, like, that happened to me, and like, fun fact about me, I'm a major uh comic book nerd, video game nerd. You say the game, I may know it or may have played it, but I really I really resonate with the phrase, with great power there must come great responsibility. Um, and I know it's a cliche quote, but the thing is, like, we all have,
It's true.
yeah, because, like, we all have our own things that we're able to do. We have our own powers, and we have to be accountable for what we do with it. Do we
Yeah.
build people? Do we tear down people? Because that's a reflection on us. That's a reflection on us. And I know with what I was able to do, that, like, I never let it I try to make sure I didn't ever let it get to me. And I know my friends are like, "Oh my gosh, is that Baldwin from Twitter?" And I'm just like, "Will you shut up, you mook?" But it helped me, because I was able to actually make a lot of good friends who on Twitter that are in my life now, who I harass and terrorize, like, be like, "Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Want to watch this movie or whatever?" And just really gained a support system. But also other voice actors, other black voice actors that
Nice.
are passionate about what I do. I mean, just as passionate as me. Because growing up, I'll be transparent with you. I didn't think black people did voice acting, because there were like six people that would do it. It would be like Cree Summer, Phil Lamar, Kevin Michael Richardson, Keith David, and wait, I think I already said Cree Summer. There's another one.
Dennis Haysbert.
Yes, they're like all these different, I only saw that much growing up, so I didn't think it was like a real thing. And granted, in the environment I was in, not criticizing it, but they more so had to focus on, like, the STEM majors, like, the science, engineering,
Oh,
math,
definitely.
whatever, whatnot, but nothing really for media. And because I could tell you, when I was like in 8th grade, I said I was going to be a medical illustrator because I like to draw, but unfortunately, high school kind of killed that. Not even gonna lie. But all of that to say that, like, I never knew voice acting could be like a thing on its own, like its own profession. And then being able to grow up, because, like, I thought I was the only kid ever that would do, like, kooky voices or whatever, whatnot, because not much people would share the same interests, or if they're like, oh yeah, voice acting is cool, they would usually think commercial, but not more so character, where I absolutely love character voices and
And do
whatnot.
you practice those character voices? Like, and how much, if you do, how much time do you put into it?
I try to make sure that, like, I put, like, enough. So say, for example, like, maybe like an hour and a half each day, or even an hour. And the one thing with character voices is being able to be genuine with it, and be able to commit and be consistent with it. And I say that because for certain character voices, like, because I've seen it in shows, like, from great shows to horribly done shows, or at least shows that didn't put as much effort as I believe it should have. Because, like, you can't have a French accent and then the next minute drop it and then never be picked up ever again. You
I
see
have
what I
seen
mean?
it happen, and I'm like, did anybody else notice he's no longer Russian?
Exactly, exactly.
It's
So
super awkward.
yeah, and that was my thing with it. And luckily, through that Twitter boom I had in 2019, I was able to meet those other voice actors, and even voice actors like me, who were trying to do, like, be involved in projects or whatever, whatnot, but didn't know exactly where to go. And, like, two of the people that I've met, my friends Miles and Tasha, like, we're on the same level, of course, and of course we're able to be, book projects, indie projects, or whatever, whatnot. But it's just like, it feels good because like we're no longer alone within it. We're not just that one random kid in the group that likes to do kooky voices. Like we
Mhm.
have each other, and we're able to give insight and feedback, whatever, whatnot. And to even mention like the other fellow creatives I have met during my journey, like as a person. And like for example, one of the content creators that inspire me, his name is I am Travis Case. So I believe it was either last week or the week before. Tony Baker, he retweeted one of Travis's stuff because it was like what are the best black love movies done, and because it was trending on I believe, I know it was trending on Instagram, I believe TikTok as well. um and Travis is also a voice actor, so it was really good to like have someone, like especially like when I was at Morgan, that I could bounce ideas off of. um he was like inspiring me to like show off like things that like if I care about or and relate to. So say for like right now, I'm trying to create like a video game TikTok because like I'm like I love video games. I'm pretty sure there are other people that have either dabbled in video games like a smidge, or to people who aficionados, like what's the word, experts, the experts.
Mhm.
So I know Travis Case is one of the people that inspire me, especially for creating TikTok content, because I'm just like, yo, Trav, you really killing it with the TikTok content, because like its consistency is very admirable, and I'm just like, wow, I gotta try and be like him. Well, and try to be like best, because iron sharpens iron,
Yeah.
and just being able to be able to call him friend and to be inspired, it was just like my man's, my
So,
man's.
so what made you make that transition to TikTok, and what is your inspiration for your videos? Because your videos are hilarious, and I'm just trying. I'm like, how do you continue to come up with content, or do you pick it back off of other ideas? Are you inspired by other TikTokers, or do you just come up with certain things? And I mean, because a lot of it feels like when I'm watching your TikToks or your Instagrams, I'm watching. It feels like you're just like I'm just having this conversation with this person, and he's just like cracking me up. But that's me being a layman, but a non-voice actress. But what inspires the creativity?
I'm going to be completely transparent with you. Majority of the ideas, I'm usually sitting up at my bed at 3 a.m. and I'm just scrolling through TikTok, and I'm just like, what if I did this? And then I did it. And and if like a friend's up, he'd be like, hey, tell me what you think of this idea. Send, you know? And honestly, that's what you like. It's either TikTok I see that like I know, because the stitches, like I add on to it like something.
Hmm.
Like honestly, a lot of the ideas come up at 3 a.m. in the morning, and like my sleep schedule is absolute trash, and somehow I'm able to create content. I'm just like, listen, if it doesn't make anyone else chuckle, it made me chuckle, and at least it's out of my head.
Right.
Um, but yeah, it's a lot of that. Um, that's a lot of random thoughts at 3 a.m. to be completely honest with you.
I can
It's
imagine so. I can imagine so.
yeah, but and I would like Travis, like with his content, and I would say for TikTok, I think I think that's about it. I would think that there that's about it for the inspiration. It's seeing my friends, do their thing, and then my 3 a.m. Ideas that just pop in my head. It's like, hey, but yeah, those my two, I guess you could say, driving forces.
Okay. So tell me about. We're almost done, but I want to hear about your goals. Like, where do you see Baldwin or Baldwin Voices in the next 2 years and in the next 5 years?
I know within the next 2 years, because like as of right now, I'm taking a voiceover class, and luckily it is not break my bank account expensive, thank God. So
Okay.
we
Good.
love that. So like one of the things I want to do, at least be able to say that I've voiced in an animated series within the next 2 years, and maybe a video game. One of the things I really want to try at least once is motion capture, because so usually how it would go traditionally is like uh the audition process. If you get cast, you would be get in the booth and whatnot. I know for me, I do everything from home. I was able to praise God, upgrade my equipment thanks to to a group of people that believe in me, and I really
Right.
appreciate
That,
them.
that always helps when you got just one. You just need a couple.
Yeah, yeah, and man, because I had a USB microphone, and I was just yeah, unpaid intern life. Uh, um, what else? I want to make sure that and maybe motion capture, because like how they would basically have it be that they have you in the suit, and then like there'd be like I guess like these little like orbs or whatever, but like you're basically acting it out, and I would like to try
How
that.
they did like Schmeagol in like Lord of the Rings, like the guy that played Schmeagol with the green suit on.
I believe
That
so. Yes.
okay, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So I really want to try that. Also, one of the things I want to do, maybe make a short film, because I also write. And
Mhm.
I've like this year, honestly, like the end of last year and this year has been very eye-opening, because I never thought like I could create like ideas on my own, but I there was something that kind of sparked me, and it was honestly because of the content, the movies being put out, by Hollywood. I think it was like what there was one movie called, well, it was two movies, honestly. Well, not one movie, but more so a genre. The other movie was called like Imagine Next, which was basically like a rip-off the Lego movie, and I'm just like, really, really, seriously,
And
and
it got made.
it tanked. But the second genre was more so, black trauma and everything and whatnot.
Yes,
Yes, and the thing is, I'm just like, seriously,
that's hard to
just
watch for me. I'm not a fan.
right. And the
Not that
thing
it's not
is,
good writing, but I'm not a fan.
I like and like how will I say it? Is it necessary? Not really, but it's as a sort of like a slight reminder. But I don't want it to be that's all black people. That's all we're about pain and everything and whatnot. But we're more than that. We're more than that. We're not a monolith. And one of the goals is like I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'm gonna try my best with it. I want to make sure that like whatever I write, it could show off black people, like doing many things, like fighting dragons, or going on to this massive adventure or something, being superheroes. I mean, I know Marvel is killing it, but that doesn't mean they're the only people that could do stuff.
Right.
um and and especially and specifically in the medium of animation, because a lot of people, they would usually say that, oh, cartoons are just for little kids. No, no, they're not. I can tell you, there's like an example of one of the shows that's not meant for kids but does go into adult concepts or whatnot, like BoJack Horseman,
Hmm.
Invincible, like it may like especially for Invincible, you may think it may be like it's like the Marvel and the DC. No, it's not. It really is dark, and it goes into adult themes, and it's
Hmm.
not always like the blood and gore thing. Like it gets real, it hits. But and I say that specifically when in terms of black people, because not a lot. I haven't seen a lot of black people in animated movies, doing cool stuff and everything and whatnot. And I'm just like, what's wrong? Why I don't understand why people are trying to delegitimize animation for what it is, because like for certain things you can't really do it in live action, and there hasn't been much. I know like what there's Bebe's Kids, and there's you see how I'm drawing a blank.
You
That
see, I'm
shouldn't
like
have to
looking
be a
up at
thing.
the distance. Like I think I can't remember. There
Exactly.
was the Boondocks.
But the Boondocks, like a handful compared to like to like a slew of animated movies that have been done in the past. I want to
Mhm.
change that, and I know there are other people that are my age now that are changing, are getting ready to change that, because the one thing because I told my friends this is the Black creative renaissance, because we are at a point in society
Right.
that we are more interconnected, more interconnected, sociable, and inspired that we could do things on our own without the green light of major Hollywood entities and whatnot. And especially like there are people that are out there that are willing to believe, because like there's this anime that's coming out. A friend is doing it. Josh, he's making a black anime, and like I mean, of course, like they're having like sprinkles, but this is something. It's Michio, and it's on Twitter, I believe, Instagram, and maybe even Facebook. But all that to say that like we could create our own stuff. We don't like. This is the time. And I know for me, since I figured out like I can write, and I know that like if I'm able to write, I will always have a job. That's what the old dean of my school, Dean Wickham, used to say. And of course he meant that in a journalistic sense, but I was thinking, what if I did it creatively? So that's my driving force with it. And even if I don't know something, I know that I can always ask someone and that's in my circle, in my village, that like what can be improved, what can be better.
And that's
Because
yeah,
that's and
important.
Mm,
Well, I appreciate you. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I'm just making sure that like I don't ask myself the question of what if, because I'm 23, and of course, like I know I'm how some people say, "Oh, you're a baby," and I'm just like, I'm 23. I have to like taxes. I'm not. I can't escape from taxes.
Like there aren't baby taxes. There aren't baby taxes. I tell you.
They're just taxes, please. But I already have enough, small regrets in my life, and I know with those small regrets, I'm like, I don't want a lot of them. I'm good. I'm gonna try as much as I can, if and especially like if I'm drawn to it, and so I don't have to be 80 years old and be like, what if I actually done blank? Yeah.
I agree with that. Life is short. If the past 18 months has taught us nothing else, is that life is short and fleeting, and you should probably just be living your life unapologetically if you're going to be living it. You might as well live it on your own terms, because it could be taken at a moment's notice. Thank you, Baldwin, for being with us tonight. I don't want to take a lot of your time, but I appreciate you so much for sharing your insight into a world that a lot of people don't know about, for you sharing your insight in regards to not only voice acting, but the social media world, telling us your first-hand experience about how people approach you, the embarrassment, the shock, the awe, when you kind of take off in regards to pieces of content. And we look forward to more from you. I'll definitely be calling you again to come and share some information with us, especially when your new projects come out. We want to hear from you. We want to be connected to you. We want to stay connected to you. And before we sign off, could you please tell us how we can find you on all platforms?
Yes, you can find me on all platforms at Baldwin Voices. I'm on that's my Twitter, my Instagram. I believe I changed it for my TikTok. And I'm also on Twitch. I'm also on Twitch. So that on Twitch, I play video games. I sometimes draw. I picked up back
Nice.
the digital pen. So I'm trying things. And just I want to try more conversations, like because I have like a lot of good conversations with my friends. Whether it be absolutely like insane or even like well thought. That I really like those genuine moments. So, but yes, Baldwin Voices on all social media platforms. And you can check out my website, baldwinthenarrator.com, and you'll be able to see some of the things I've done. And yeah.
Can we book you there?
Yes. If you have a voiceover, whatever you need it for, I know I do it for commercials. I have not done audiobooks yet, because I will tell you this, because a lot of people think, oh yeah, audiobooks, like, this should be easy. It's a marathon. It is a marathon, and not many people understand that, because I'm like, short story. Like, one of my internship bosses, they because the internship is unpaid, and they were like, hey, Baldwin, would you like to do a narration thing, like a audiobook thing? And I was like, what would it entail? And like, they say, oh yeah, it's a small, because they're like, oh yeah, it's a small stipend and everything. I'm just like, And I'm just in the back at first I'm like, oh yeah, let's do it. But I'm like, first off, we don't have the training for this, so I don't want to go into this running blind, and especially overworked.
And ends
Because
up with work, yeah.
yeah, because like I do.
Knowledge.
Yeah, because like I do freelance things like for short for videos and everything, and like I've done it for short films and whatnot. But I have never done something that long form. But I recognize that like, yeah, I need training for that, and I communicated that with my boss. They're like, oh, are you sure? Like, it's just like the other things that you've done. I was just like, respectfully, no, because I whatever my name is attached to. I want to make sure it's quality because that reflects on me. You know, I know some people don't care about that. Some people do, and I'm in that camp of those who do because, yeah.
Same.
But
same. All right. Well, thank you again, Baldwin. You've been absolutely amazing. I appreciate all that you shared with us this evening. And you'll be hearing him very soon in the very near future. I'm sure that his future is like outstandingly, astonishingly bright. And I cannot wait to see what's happening. And I'll get to say that I got to interview him on Jestingandthings. All right. We love you. We'll see you next time. Bye.
bye.